Controversial opinion. Rumor has it the Mardi Gras International Flavors of Carnaval has the best food over Disney's food and wine festivals. I'm here to check it out today. This morning, I got one of these Mardi Gras cards. This one doesn't expire. As an annual pass holder, you get a little bit of discount. So I have $150 worth of money on here, which I got for $120. So we're gonna check it out. We do have a limited budget, and let's see what wonderful food items we can taste today. Let's do this, let's go. Entering the park this morning was super busy. I think it's because it's a long holiday weekend and a lot of the lower tier annual passes at Disney World is blocked out. So it took me a good 2 hours to get from the parking lot into the park. But it seems like all of the Carnival booths are here at Universal Studios rather than Islands of Adventure. So I'm just gonna hang out here for the day and check out some of the food and drink items. Supposedly with as an annual pass holder, you get even more discounted food if you use the card. So yeah, we'll see. Mike and I have done a couple of the Mardi Gras festivals here. Past couple years we've done the float riding experience, which we absolutely enjoy. But we haven't really been prioritizing a lot of the booth food and snack items. So today I'm just doing a solo trip, and that's what we're doing, and just testing out some of the booths. They have a lot of different international booths. I think they have China, India, Germany, and certainly New Orleans flavored. So yeah, I can't wait. Beignets definitely on the menu today for sure. And I think they have concerts throughout the Mardi Gras celebration, and here's the concert stage. They start at 8:30 every single, or on select nights rather. So, okay. Yeah, Hollywood and Rickety Rocket. That's actually one ride I've never ridden. I heard it gives people, it makes people want to go to the chiropractor or something, so I'm a little bit hesitant to do that. Let's check out what Canada has to offer. So we've got margarita poutine. I think that might be like a vegetarian friendly option, and then they have a hot maple lacquered salmon. Might be a little bit too heavy as my first bite, so we're gonna see. Colombia is right next door to Canada, so let's see what Colombia has. So Colombia has a burger, a chicken empanada. Yeah, maybe, you know what? I'm gonna try the chicken empanada. I think that does sound pretty good. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do first. We are gonna give our empanada from the Colombia booth a try. Kind of crispy on the outside. I think it's got potato filling in the inside. It's really crunchy on the outside, creamy on the inside. This is quite good. A little bit on the salty end in my opinion, but with theme park food, for some reason, they always tend to oversalt. But this is a good first bite. Like I mentioned, they do have a little bit of a small discount if you use the card. And the cast member did assure me that the card does not expire, so a lot of people will just hang on to them, apply them in a future date. So I was a little bit afraid that I was going to be like, well, I'm just going to be me. I don't think I might not be able to eat up to the $150 worth of food. Actually, they give you a bit of a dipping sauce. I don't know, I think it's like cilantro based. Look, I don't know, let's see if it's spicy at all. Yeah, it's like salsa verde with cilantro, a little bit of jalapeno. Has a little bit of kick, but it's not too spicy. So I think if you're not into spicy food, it's still pretty good. But then I think there's a little bit of acidity in that sauce that cuts into the greasiness and the oilness of the empanada. I would recommend it. Yeah, I had one without the sauce, one with the sauce. I think I prefer the one with the sauce better. And guess what? We do have New Orleans right here. We have beignets and red beans and rice and king cake. I think I'm gonna save the beignets until a little bit later. I'm gonna stick to more savory dishes for right now, but here we go. Oh my gosh, they have a Cajun mac and cheese and chicken gumbo. That actually does sound pretty good. And then on this side, looks like they're like the heads of the Mardi Gras floats, the king and queen, which I will link in the description down below, because Mike and I, for our first Mardi Gras float riding experience, we were crowned king and queen. All right. We got French quarters. They have an espresso martini. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Okay, I think this is more like a drinks bar snack booth. So, all right. Well, we're gonna try to walk around and not just kind of like eat the first thing that comes to mind. Ooh, It's smoky over there. What do we have? Puerto Rico? Ooh. This might be meat on a stick would be what I would imagine. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I may have to do this. This smells really good. I have a cheese dog and some fritters and char-grilled pork shoulder. Yep, that's what we're gonna go with next. That does sound really good. I think we have the team members hard at work grilling some stuff. Ooh, delicious. We found a pretty quiet place right back here by New York, opposite the Hollywood Rickety Rocket. I got this smoky skewer of pork shoulders and comes with a little bread, which is really nice. I mean, wow, that's saucy. I think it's guava sauce. Ooh, the sunlight. All right, let's give it this might be messy, so let's give it a try. Ooh, this might be a little better. Okay, wow. Yeah, I mean, I saw the cast members smoking it in the back and just cooking it up. The pork is nice and fatty. I think the guava, again, the acidity really cuts into the fattiness, and I mean, it's like a backyard grill back there, but they do give you a little bit of bread to like sop up the juice and the sauce. It's quite good. Actually, I don't know about you, but back here by the library facade, actually a really quiet area for sure. If you're looking for somewhere to get away from the hustle and bustle from the rest of the park, this actually is not a bad little reprieve right here. I don't know why I never came back down here, but yeah, this is like, it's pretty nicely done. Yeah, this is pretty much right underneath the Hollywood Rickety Rockety ride. And they even have a little like subway tunnel, which is, how have I not noticed this? Check this out. Yeah, I guess you can even take the stairs down as if you're going into the boroughs. Okay, I think we've had 2 booths so far. So far they're both really good. But Puerto Rico, the pork shoulder, love the tanginess, love a little bit of sweetness, and the pork is perfectly char-grilled. Really love it. Again, I keep on saying that I'm not gonna eat everything at first sight, but it looks like we are on that journey at the moment. So we're gonna head back into the mummy area. Ooh, that smoke. Oh yeah, Finnegan's. Last time when Mike and I did the float experience, we actually had the ride and dine, I believe, something like that. That basically it guarantees you a float spot, and then it's like a 3-course meal, a prefix type of deal. Actually, I'll link that in the description down below. I mean, they're still offering that. Like I said, we're not going to be able to do that this year, but I think it might be actually worth it if you can get a spot on the float, and that definitely guarantees that for you. Okay, let's see what is back here. This is the back of the Transformers 3D experience. But yeah, Finnegan's is actually quite good. I think they have a couple of different restaurants that are offering the ride and float experience. So, okay, but this time we are definitely focusing on the snack booths. So that's what we're gonna do today. Well, that was fun. Saw some live dancers in the courtyard back there. Okay, I think I'm still taking a little bit of a break from just eating my heart out, but I think there is always like a festival tribute store. Ooh, check this out. Outside of Mel's Drive-In, they got some classic cars. Anyway, there's always this tribute store, so I think I'm gonna try to find that. The Mardi Gras store, I think, is always kind of fun. They've got some festival merch and some specialty things that are always kind of fun. I love checking out the tribute stores. They have it for the holidays, and they also have for the Halloween season. So I suspect that it should be over here. So let's see if it's where I think it is. Oh, we got Homer and Lisa today. What the heck? Okay, this might be a detour. We might have to catch a picture with Homer for sure. Hopefully his line is not too long. But is this the tribute store? Maybe. Okay, but first I think we're gonna have to grab a picture with Homer and Lisa. Just took a picture with Homer and Lisa. I guess Homer has had multiple dozens of donuts already this morning, so he's quite full, but he's just hanging out, taking some pictures with the guest. But I had to ask the cast member because I'm like, where is this tribute store? But I think I was right. It's right here. But for some reason, they don't have a sign back there, but she did say it's pretty cool. So let's go check it out. Yeah, I mean, literally there's no sign. It just says something out here that doesn't really tell you that is, in fact, the tribute store. But, ew, interesting. We have something over here. What's Legend of Ryan? I don't know what that reference is for, but check out this cute little, is that a popcorn bucket? Oh, wow. There's that guy. He like freaked me out a little bit. Oh my gosh, okay. It's, let's see. You have a popcorn bucket and your first refill is free. Yeah, I think that's for the gator float, but okay. Lots of Mardi Gras themed stuff and some skulls. I'm pretty sure that is not part of exhibit. Ooh, shiny cowboy hats. Fun. That is actually kind of cute. It's kind of like, I think it's like a hat, little like hat ears with Mardi Gras colors. Kind of cute. Okay. I mean, struggling to put it back on, but there we go. And more feathers, and we got lit up king crown. Oh, okay. And like the jester hats. And little masks over here. Lots of Mardi Gras beads. All sorts of Mardi Gras beads. Ooh, let's see. Oh, they even have like little, what are these things? Little keychains for APs, more beads. And then a weird looking alien dude with the crown and beads. Okay. Now, this is like actually like more Halloween themed. I guess it's voodoo and a little bit of magic. And we have this guy. Is it a onesie? No, it's just a t-shirt. Okay. Ooh, there's a gator up here. Alrighty. Lots of alien and such. Monsters through the woods. And then more aliens. Okay, this is actually kind of freaky. More merch and, ooh, is that like a baby gator? Ooh, the teeth's kind of sharp. Oh. I think it's a shoulder magnet actually. Yeah, the teeth are kind of sharp for this little gator dude. Yeah, definitely very gator themed for sure. And now we have the Swampy Bayou. Wow, they did a really good job. Look at the floor. This is really nice. And then we have the Swamp Monster. Cool. Hello. Ooh. I bet you that is not Dr. Facilier, but kind of looks like him. It's a little like felt material. It's kind of a cute bag. And more merch. This little shack in the swamp. Big old moon outside. We've got more. Ooh, what is brewing in there? It's a bubble twirl in trouble. Guess that is the exterior. We're definitely in the swamp. Big old chair. This is really nice. Top hat. I guess that is our voodoo doctor's something or other. Got more artifacts over here, potions and poison and voodoo stuff. Okay, I guess that is kind of the voodoo themed stuff. Okay. All right, we're getting out of the little shack. But outside we have fireflies. This weirdly reminds me of Tiana. Oh gosh, check that out. This is interesting. They did a really, really good job. More Mardi Gras hats, shiny, sparkly things. And we have little keychains, little voodoo dolls, more masks. And that is like a onesie of some sort. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that is the exit. Don't forget to grab your beads before you exit. Beads and charms and potions. Okay. And we made it out alive. Well, that is your Mardi Gras Tribute Store. Swamp themed, kind of weird looking, but interesting. I think they did a really good job. But like I said, it does give you a bit of Jian's Body Adventure vibe for some reason. That's definitely way more kid friendly for sure. This one is, I guess, more adult themed and oriented. Okay, I think I could use another bite of food. I think, what do we have so far? We've had the pork shoulder in Puerto Rico, and then we had the chicken empanada in Colombia, and we passed by the Beignets and New Orleans and French Quarters, but like I said, I'm just not quite gonna be dipping into the sweets and desserts just yet. So we're just gonna try to stick with the savory, and we're gonna keep going. Oh, I really like the little Mardi Gras touches along the way. We've got the little, is that a gator playing a banjo? I guess it is. Very cute, very cute. Now we're gonna go into kind of the Central Park area. And, oh, they have crepe? Oh. Okay, Mexico, all right, here we go. We have another festival, not a booth, but kind of like a restaurant, like an extension to an outside bar. What do we have in Mexico here? We have churros, ooh, churro loops. We have a quesabirria, that sounds pretty good. And then chilaquiles verde, that's more like I think it's more like a breakfast spot. Okay, they do have an old-fashioned. I think in Mexico we might be going with an old-fashioned. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And maybe the quesabirria. Okay, I actually changed my mind. Instead of the old-fashioned, I got the Tormenta, the tequila-based drink. It just looks way too refreshing. It's actually kind of hot today, despite the fact that it's still winter time. The team member, let me know if I wanted an orange. Yes, I do. Make it a little bit more refreshing. And then I have my quesabirria. Is that how you say it? Nice and crunchy on the outside. They've just made it, so this is great. And then a little bunch of lime to add a little acidity to it. So, ooh, okay. And then a dipping sauce, and I don't know what that is, but it's hot, so like temperature-wise, not spice-wise. Ooh, this is really, really good. I think it's citrusy, and obviously the tequila just kicks it up a quick little notch. That is quite good. All right, we are gonna just have the quesabirria by itself, and then we're gonna try the dipping sauce. I can't remember if it was pulled pork or beef. It tastes like pulled pork, but it's really, really good. The meat just falls apart. We're gonna try the dipping sauce a little bit to see if it's actually spicy. It is, temperature-wise, it's kind of hot. I think spice level, I think this sauce is a little bit more spicier than the one that we had in Colombia. That one's a little bit more citrusy and limey. Wow, this is so good. Look at the cheese. Just finished my quesabirria and my drink. You know what? I mean, I think the food here is so far, based on the 3 booths that I've had before this far, it's better. It's better. I think the Disney World version of the food booths and stuff, they err on more side of like presentation. They all look very good, but what ends up happening is that it actually doesn't, the taste doesn't, not all the time, but it doesn't quite necessarily match the presentation. But here it's just like simple, good food, and it's like freshly made. So I'm actually rather impressed. Okay, so I just walked by the Men in Black ride. I don't know if you know, but there is something that is maybe like a not very well-known secret. I don't know. But in any case, you can actually request an interplanetary tour to actually go down into the atrium to check out all the sets and everything. Mike and I were lucky enough to do it once, which I'll link that video in the description down below. It's really, really neat. You get to take pictures, they get close with the aliens, with the big tentacles and fingers, and you get to sit by the desks and actually play with the props a little bit. But it really depends on the day. I checked in because today is a really, really busy day, so they don't have enough cast members to be able to support that. But the team member just basically said, hey, you know, come back on a not so busy day, but the tour's still going on. It's absolutely free. So, and it kind of makes you feel like a VIP when everybody's looking down from the upstairs. It's like, what are these VIPs doing? But no, you just ask for it. And then, if you know, on the day that you get lucky and they're offering a tour, take a quick peek into the atrium. It's really, really neat. I guess we are delayed to go back to Hogwarts via the Hogwarts Express, but that's okay. We're not doing that today. So, all right. So we have San Francisco Pastry Company. Yeah, we are officially in California. I don't know. I just started noticing that these like little restaurants and stuff, they have really neat things inside. You know, give me plastic food. I don't know. I love it, but I've never taken the time to peek through the windows. But got some iced tea, nice looking strawberry cake, an apple pie, and some burgers. I guess this is the Buena Vista restaurant. Let's see, what do we have on the menu here? We got burgers and salad and some Bloody Mary. That does sound pretty refreshing. You know, sometimes I erroneously claim that Universal doesn't have as good of a theming as Disney, but actually if you pay attention, they do have some really neat stuff that's hidden in plain sight. Okay, we have the India food truck. So let us see what India has to offer. We have a buttered chicken flatbread and a dosa, that's a potato. I think this is more like vegetarian friendly, so let's see. All right, we have an iced chai latte, Jajira soda, interesting. Buttered chicken, tandoori, flatbread nuggets, and naan bread. I am still a little bit full from that Quesabirria, so probably not gonna stop by here, but the food does look pretty good. Okay, we have Deutschland, we have Germany, right next to India. What do we have? Pretzels upon pretzels and pretzels. I cannot pronounce that. It's a Leberkäse. Don't know what that is. Okay, it's like a meatloaf and pretzel bun. Interesting. It's like a, oh my gosh, it's pretzel bun sandwich with meatloaf inside and some currywurst French fries, German fries. Okay, nope, doesn't sound all that appetizing. So we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, like I said this morning, I'm like, well, I'll just grab the food card, and I guess as an annual pass holder, you get additional discounts if you pay with that food card. So I actually was able to kind of not have to dip into the total amount by a lot. Obviously, the alcoholic beverage wasn't discounted, but you know, the meat skewer that I had this morning, it was like $1 off, which is really nice. But like I said, you know, it doesn't expire, so if I don't even use it up all day today, I can always come back. And a lot of guests, they save them up for Halloween horror nights and stuff like that. I guess I keep on running into the salsa dancers. They have multiple performances throughout the day, but it's starting to get pretty windy. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much done back there, but I did promise myself that I need to at least have the beignets. So I'm walking back towards the front of the park. Yeah, it looks like they're setting up the concert for tonight with Cool and people. Coon Gang, that's what they are. Yes, okay. Yeah, and then this is, I guess, the Minions Land area that opened a while back. It is not totally new, but they still have some really cool little things here and there. The Minions Cafe, they've got some pretty cute Minion-themed foods. Again, more on the presentation, less on the taste, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, that's right. Jimmy Kimmel Live. That is the one that will give you a little bit of motion sickness. So that is, I would put this one at the top of motion sickness in danger, but I actually think there might be an AP pin or something that they're distributing. So let me actually, let me check that out to see if I can grab that while supplies last before we head on over there for our New Orleans beignets. So we're gonna do it. Just as they promised, they had the Tonight Shop. They have the AP pin. It's a little alligator guy. It is super cute. So I love collecting free merch. Okay, I'm gonna head on back to the where we came from, and let me grab my beignets. Oh yeah, wow, Puerto Rico is smoking for sure. Well, you may hear people screaming because I'm right underneath one of the big loops for Hollywood Rockety Rocket. There it is. But we're right back to New York, where I think this is kind of like the back entrance where the team members in. It's nice and quiet except for the screaming and shouting up top. I did get my beignets, lots of powdered sugar. Anyhow, oh, this is gonna be dangerous. It's nice and toasty. Pretty, definitely on the sweet end, but I think there's a little bit of filling. I don't think so. I think it's just like very doughy, chewy innards. But it's quite good. I mean, beignets, fried dough with powdered sugar. You can't really go wrong with that. We are right back today. The weather is a little bit windier and cloudier than yesterday. We're gonna try out all the foods that we didn't get to do yesterday. So our Mardi Gras International Flavors of Carnaval continues. Well, first things first, I'm gonna actually try the Marche Royale, the one that I didn't get to try yesterday. I'm gonna give the chicken and sausage gumbo. That would be a great breakfast. So that's gonna be what I'm gonna be having this morning. All right, my gumbo's ready. Nice hearty bowl, actually. It's a little bit of potato bits and shredded chicken, and they sprinkled a little bit of scallion, just brighten it up. And then we have a nice helping of rice underneath. So gonna be the great first bite of the day. I wonder if there's okra. Yep, there's definitely like that gelatinous mouthfeel. Yeah, this is very good. It has a little bit of a kick at the back of your throat, but it's really flavorful. This is quite good. There's like a little bit of chickpea in there and some andouille sausage. For festival gumbo, this is excellent. The gumbo lasted no time. That was really good. The portion size is quite good as well. It's a nice hearty bowl of gumbo first thing in the morning. But yesterday I was also eyeing the salmon from the Canada booth, so that's where we're gonna go next. I got my salmon. This is definitely one of the more expensive items on the menu. I think without discounts, it's like $14.99. That's an expensive little festival dish here, so let's give it a shot. Got some rice. I think it's collard greens and little cranberry and maple-glazed salmon. Let's see how well it's cooked. Actually, I don't even need a knife to cut that. That is, actually it's really well cooked inside. Look at that. Nice and pink and flaky. It doesn't look like it's overcooked either. Okay, I'm gonna give it to Canada. That salmon is actually really well cooked. Usually when salmon gets too dry, that is really bad sign, but this is nicely flavored. Got a little bit of that honey maple sauce. It really kind of wraps it up and kind of tastes like more like a barbecue sauce. And then I think the rice with the beans and the cranberry also gives it a little bit of add a little bit to it as well. So yeah, not a bad dish. Expensive, but quite good. The salmon is also done. Wow, I'm just like really wolfing my dishes down this morning. Must be really hungry. Anyway, one thing I forgot to mention is that the rice is really well textured. It's not mushy. You know me, I am really not a big fan of mushy rice. But next stop, I think I'm gonna try to go to France. There is a duck à l'orange crepe. So that's where we're heading. Actually, I stand corrected. I'm by the San Francisco, like the California area. And yesterday there was the China booth that they have a duck xianbing, which is a traditional breakfast item. I mean, it is breakfast time, so I think we're gonna try to do that first. Yeah, I couldn't find the China booth yesterday at all. And then I just walked by later in the afternoon and was like, oh, okay, well, it's in San Francisco. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Chinatown, San Francisco, China booth. And I think this morning they had like a cheerleading squad. Their performance got a little bit loud. I kept on playing the same music over and over again, and I was waiting for the song to end because it's kind of loud throughout the park. Anyway, so then finally it ended, and I was talking to one of the team members and was like, oh, wow, that song would be stuck in your head for a half a minute there. Today's park is not as busy as yesterday, but it's still definitely a lot earlier in the day. So yesterday literally took me like an hour and a half to get from the parking lot into the park. Today is marginally better. Ooh, there's also Germany over there, but I remember Germany being pretty carb heavy. But let's go with the xianbing first. Actually, I was able to find a nice little quiet area by the wharf here in California or San Francisco. I just got the duck xianbing, which I thought it was going to be more like a crepe, but This is actually more like a pan-fried bun, close to something called a leek box or 韭菜盒子 in Chinese. I think there's like filling inside, and then they pan fry it. It's fresh out of the pan fryer. The duck is maybe just a pate on top. But anyway, it smells really good, so I'm gonna give it a shot and let you know how it is. Okay, I stand corrected. I just checked the Universal app, and they have all the menus and the booths and everything. So this is actually a hoisin butter sauce on top. I've never really put butter over like a pan-fried dumpling or pan-fried bun before, but I'm gonna have to give it a try. It's quite good. The hoisin provides a little bit of that sweetness, and the duck is not dry at all. So I actually really enjoy this dish. So there's a couple more booths that I haven't tried. There's Germany, there is India, there's France, as well as Italy. Yeah, the day is still young, so let's see how much we can get through. And again, it's just me today, so I'm not sure I'm going to get through all the booths, but we're going to do everything that we can and give you a taste of the Mardi Gras. All right, so I just checked the menu. It looks like the France booth is actually more of a permanent booth, so I'm actually just not going to count that as a Mardi Gras. I mean, they told it as more of a Mardi Gras thing, but I mean, yeah, it's just basically their crepe cart. So I'm actually going to head to Italy, which I guess it's over by New York that I totally missed. We're drinking, we're eating around the world during this Mardi Gras International Flavors of Carnaval, but I'm going to count that as a sort of like my drink stop. There is a Peachcello Prosecco bubbly something cocktail. That sounds really delicious. It's actually starting to get a little warm and humid, so I think a nice little bubbly drink might just be the one that I need. So that's where we're heading. We're going to Italy.
2,000 years later.
Well, that was a little bit of a disaster. So I've been looking for this Peachcello spirits and it's an Italian booth, let me tell you. So I think there's a bit of a high wind outside, so usually they'll put a little sign that says, this is your Mardi Gras booth or whatever. So there's no dedicated Italian booth. It is inside Luigi's Ristorante, I think. So anyway, I literally walked up and down the street. I'm like, where is the Italian booth? Really wanted to get my spritzer. And finally, I was like, oh, must be inside. And then there's by the Guido's Gelato, and then one inside, and then I guess it was a really long wait. Right now it's kind of like the early afternoon-ish. I think folks are just getting their pizzas from the restaurant. So it took me a while to find the place, and then also took me a chunk of time to actually get my drink. So it better be worth it. This thing, I think there's Peachcello, like limoncello, but Peachcello, a little bit of a Prosecco, as well as club soda, and they've got I think peach boba or something like that. Let's give it. It better be worth it. Yeah, it's like a wine spritzer, peachy. But don't make the mistake that I made. If you don't see a sign outside, it's like right outside the arcade games. That is where the restaurant is. It's essentially in like the little Italy area of Universal Orlando. So it's good. I don't know. It's worth the wait and worth the walk. And yeah. So cheers, I guess. So I guess I wouldn't recommend the Peachcello, especially given the weight and everything. Yeah, the weather is changing a little bit. It's cooled down significantly, so I'm actually gonna try the Indian one. I think the potato dosa might be good to help me warm myself up. Here we are, we're in India. Boy oh boy, Florida weather is unpredictable. As I was feeling the temperature drop, it started pouring outside, but we found ourselves a nice little canopied seat, and I think this dosa smells amazing. So far, I want to say the food definitely is way better than the drinks. Although the tequila drink that I had yesterday was actually quite refreshing, but I think the wait and then just the confusion of finding the restaurant in the Italian booth just kind of distracted from that experience. In any case, this has got a coconut chutney, and I think it's a furry filling. Nice and warm, fluffy, like pancake-ish dosa bread. I'm gonna take a bite before I dip. Okay, this is actually one of the better things I've eaten here. I think it's vegetarian friendly, so that's always nice. And it's a little bit. It's got a little curry sauce, a little bit of kind of a tangy, almost like a sour cream taste, but let me give it a try with the coconut chutney. The pink chutney has a little bit of sweetness in it. Actually, I really quite like this. I think we have one more booth to go, which is Germany. I'm a little hesitant because yesterday I went through it. It was just like a big old pretzel bread sandwich. It's kind of like, maybe not. So we'll see. If I'm finished with this and I'm happy, then we're gonna call it a day. If the weather clears up, if I'm feeling up for it, maybe we'll go to Germany. We'll see. Looks like the rain is not letting off, so I'm gonna call it a day. You saw what Germany had to offer, and honestly, I'm not that excited. But we've gone through most of our foods the past couple of days. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Honestly, I think the food items have been fantastic. Everything, it's kind of carb heavy. It's more like, meat, protein, some sort of filling wrapped in dough, but I'm not complaining. Everything is actually quite delicious. The weakest, I think, was actually the beignet from yesterday, from a food item perspective, and then the Peachcello. That one is not, probably not what I would come back for a repeat. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We will see you in our next video.